Okay, good afternoon or good evening we can call to all of you. So very less strength today, only 87. Okay, it's fine. Okay, we are going to continue with the language processing activity, and simply we already had covered one point, that is introduction part, and simultaneously we are moving further. And one more basic question again, whether I am audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we are moving further. I'm in the last, I will again revise the basic points, but slightly we are moving further because we are lagging with the syllabus. So I'm starting with the language processing activity. Initially, we had seen the gaps, specification gap, semantic gap, and many more, that is execution gap. Again, we had concluded with some points that the specification gap and semantic gap having the lacuna. And in order to get overcome, we had moved further with some oriented languages. So we done or perform with two languages. दोन लँग्वेज आपण कन्फर्मली बघितल्या होत्या, एक प्रोसिजर ओरिएंटेड अँड इट इज प्रॉब्लेम ओरिएंटेड. तर हे दोन स्पेसिफिक डिफरंट लँग्वेज फॉर्मॅट बघितले होते. त्याच्यानंतर आपण नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, या चॅप्टरच्या नेक्स्ट पॉइंटला बीटला येतोय की लँग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग ऍक्टिव्हिटी. त्याच्यात दोन सब पॉइंट्स आहेत. दे आर नथिंग बट प्रोग्राम जनरेशन ऍक्टिव्हिटी अँड प्रोग्राम एक्झिक्युशन ऍक्टिव्हिटी. सो फर्दरली इफ आय एम गोइंग टू मूव्ह फर्दर, प्रोग्राम जनरेशन ऍक्टिव्हिटी मध्ये आपण काय बघितलं होतं की त्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीज कशा मीन्स काय परफॉर्म करतात आणि कशा रिलेटेड ते ओरिएंटेड आहेत, म्हणजे काय जनरेट करणार. सो इन प्रोग्राम जनरेशन, व्हेन आय एम सेइंग प्रोग्राम जनरेशन, it is nothing but the activity aims at automatic generation. Activity aims at automatic generation of a program. ठीक है. And again, I am going to introduce two new domains over here. I have already defined it, but the application domain, the new domain I am going to insert between application and PL domain, application and program languaging domain. We call it as program generator domain. And simply, if I am having some gap specifically, if I am going to allow that specification to go for it. So we had seen two activities. तर मी ते ट्रान्सलेटर आणि जनरेटरचा तुम्हाला प्री प्रोसेसरचा आणि ट्रान्सलेटरचा डेमो दिला होता. कुणी मला सांगेल का जो टास्क मी दिलता तो कम्प्लीट आहे का कुणाकडून? मी काय केलं होतं इथं, C++ प्रोग्राम जर मी प्री प्रोसेसर यूज करत असेल तर प्री प्रोसेसर यूज केल्यानंतर मला सी प्रोग्राम भेटतो. इफ आय एम युझिंग ट्रान्सलेटर, आय एम रिसिव्हिंग machine language program. So if I am going to use these D translator and language migrator, anybody having any example which has been sort outed with a result? Sorry, anybody? No one. So D translator is going to give us the source code. Again, I am moving further with the machine language. D translator, what it actually does, it will detranslate the C program. The reverse of this program will happen. If I am inserting something, suppose C++ program I am going to detranslate, then I am going to give the binary language. That is I am taking the source code. Again, source code, that is machine. The system programming will define. आपण एक प्रोग्राम बघितला होता, फर्स्ट एक्सपेरिमेंट, that is token identifier. In that format, it will ask my processor to regenerate that content. आणि ते असेंब्ली फॉर्मॅट मध्ये होणार, असेंब्ली लँग्वेज मध्ये प्रोग्राम असणार बरं का ते. तर ते झालं तुमचं डी ट्रान्सलेटर. अँड लँग्वेज मायग्रेटर, आय एम गोइंग टू मायग्रेट दॅट प्लॅटफॉर्म. आय एम गोइंग टू मायग्रेट द प्लॅटफॉर्म. जर मी हे यूज करणार असेल, जर ट्रान्सलेटर यूज केला तर मला सोर्स कोड भेटणार आहे, अँड लँग्वेज मायग्रेटर यूज केला तर मला काय भेटणार आहे, आय एम गोइंग टू डिफरन्शिएट विथ द प्लॅटफॉर्म. अँड ऑल्सो आय एम रिसिव्हिंग द लँग्वेज स्पेसिफिकेशन with some other gaps. मग हे गॅप्स कोणते असतील लँग्वेज मायग्रेटरचे, ते फर्दरली वी आर गोइंग टू conclude in the next point. We are going to see that points in the next, whatever the content we are going to learn. Okay. So one more thing, that is program generation activity. It is nothing but it aims at automatic generation of your program, while the program execution activity execution activity will organize the execution of a program. It will organize the execution of a program which is written in your programming language on a computer system, which is written in a programming language on your computer system. So I can say that the source language, whatever the source language it may be, it will be concluded with your procedural oriented language. Initially, one example I want to give in the today's drive, what I seen, एक example है मुझे basically हाँ system programming चा नहीं है. So basically in drive they ask one question, that is what is reference by value and reference. So what was the answer is, it was I don't know it was correct or wrong, but I was definitely sure that the answer given by that particular student is totally wrong. But however that company or whatever the HR see in that particular way, he had answered that content, that you can see the generation, how that answer is generated. Reference by value is nothing but it is given, the value is given reference, and reference is nothing but what I am approaching toward you by my college. So this was not actually the answer, but the answer was highly appreciated by HR, because he does not know what the generation is. So simply here also the same thing happened. Program generation, it automatically generated. Its aim is nothing but I am going to automatically generate something. But whatever the input is, I don't know. So simply the execution, what it do, it will organize that execution. But while executing, I need to know the exact answer or exact code. No warnings, no error. So these two different activities are assembled in your language processing activity. Okay, is this clear? What is this program generation activity and program execution activity? And in that, again, program generation activity is defined with some domain name, that is program generator domain. What we had seen, that is nothing but program generator domain. We can call it in between your application and PL domain. In between, I can introduce this new domain between application and PL domain. So when my program is specified with some languages, here I have shown you the program specification with the generator which can generate your target language. Already I have given the same example and specification. So not taking more time, I will move further how that arrangement will look like. So this example, or you can say this diagram, shows that my program generator, what happened, Khushi? What happened? Don't make your net to be consumed more. If you want to see, I have requested for the web camera. In soon, by the time we'll get it soon, and you will also be able to see me. And I am also feeling well that you can also make your camera on whenever I'm going to ask you the question. Is it fine? Anyone can reply. Is it not compulsory? I'm not asking any question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the program generator, what in this example it is going to define, that is nothing but the program specification or the program generators having a value with a software system. The program generator is nothing but it is a software system which accepts the program specification, which going to be generate, and this will generate a program in your target PL, that is in programming language. The program will be generated in your target and it will generate in your PL domain, that is programming language domain. So if the program generator introduce a new domain with an example, just I have assembled here, जर मी एक नवीन domain introduce केला आणि तो जर मी इथं show केला, so it will make that gap will be introduced with some name, that is nothing but program generator domain. प्रोग्राम जनरेटर डोमेन. इथं जे एक्झाम्पल दिलं तर हा जो डोमेन आहे ऍप्लिकेशन आणि प्रोसिजरल जो तुमचा आहे PL डोमेन म्हणू शकता तुम्ही याला. तर दॅट इज नथिंग बट युअर प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेज डोमेन और प्रोसिजरल डोमेन. So in between that, I am going to have a program generator domain. Clear? So it will reduce the generation specification. It will reduce the specification gap, which can increase the reliability. It will reduce the process, म्हणजे specification चा जो काही lacuna आहे, it will get reduced and it will provide a reliability. It will provide a reliability of the generated program. It will provide a reliability of a generated program so that that content will get easy for the designer for program. प्रोग्राम जनरेट करायचा असेल तर डिझायनर साठी हा मेन मोटो आहे की स्पेसिफिकेशन्स जर मला क्लिअर कट असतील आणि त्याच्यातले जे काही त्रुटी आहेत ते कमी असतील, इफ एनी प्रॉब्लेम्स इज नॉट डिफाईन्ड and it is clearly visible that the program is specified with each and every comment, then the designer can easily access that program and that code. Yes, this is the main motto of your program generator activity, or you can say program generation activity. Yes, if that content get more economically, yes, further if I am going to move, it will show me, I have again here repeating again that this task is nothing but I am going to simply providing a good diagnostic. A very good diagnostic I am going to do means that will be show me the error indication. If I am providing a proper specification of a program, then no any problem or error will be get defined to me, and it will ensure me the capability in the program generator, which would detect the inconsistency. The program generator is having that ability, so it will provide me the inconsistency whatever he is going to feel, and the program specification will do a proper coding program, and I will receive a proper target program. I will receive a target program which will be fulfilled and reliable. Okay, this was your actual program generator work. Now furtherly, the second point hota program execution activity. What actually it will do? The program execution activity furtherly I have just explained you. Once again I am going to say the statement that the program execution activity organizes the execution of a program which is written in your programming language, which is written in your programming language. But furtherly, it is again divided into two models. It is again divided into two models. The first one was your program translation. Okay, let's see. Language processing activity पहिले दोन मध्ये होते divide. That was generation and execution. जनरेशन मध्ये काही परत डिव्हिजन नाहीये किंवा त्याचे टाइप्स नाहीयेत. डायरेक्टली आपल्याला एक्झिक्युशन वर आलो. एक्झिक्युशन मध्ये काय दोन टाइप्स आहेत, दोन मॉडेल्स आहेत. द फर्स्ट वन इज प्रोग्राम ट्रान्सलेशन and second one is your program interpretation. So this concept was theoretical. We don't have any programmatic type, but further how we are going to move further in the this chapter, simply I am going to elaborate with you examples and again the concepts of the Lex and Yak, which are in your system programming concepts. Okay, तो प्रोग्राम एक्झिक्युशन मध्ये काय दोन टाइप आहेत, प्रोग्राम ट्रान्सलेशन आणि प्रोग्राम इंटरप्रिटेशन. तो प्रोग्राम ट्रान्सलेशन काय करतं? बाय नेम व्हॉट यू फील, बाय नेम व्हॉट यू फील, व्हॉट इज प्रोग्राम ट्रान्सलेशन? So program translation is nothing but it builds, or you can say it bridges the execution gap by translating a program which is written in PL language called as a source program into an equivalent program which we called it as assembly language. म्हणजे सोर्स प्रोग्रामचं कन्वर्जन मशीन लँग्वेज किंवा असेंब्ली लँग्वेज मध्ये जर तुम्ही करत असाल, सोर्स प्रोग्राम लक्षात घ्या, सोर्स प्रोग्राम जर असेल तुमचा म्हणजे कोडिंग जी आहे ती तुमची तुम्ही कन्वर्ट करत असाल असेंब्ली और मशीन लँग्वेज मध्ये, देन आय विल से that program is get translated and I am getting an output. म्हणजे सोर्स प्रोग्रामचं जर ते इक्विव्हॅलंटली मशीन लँग्वेज किंवा काय म्हणतो आपण असेंब्ली लँग्वेज मध्ये जर कन्वर्ट होत असेल आणि मी त्याला म्हणत असेल टार्गेट प्रोग्राम, म्हणजे सोर्स टू टार्गेट जर होत असेल, then I will say it as a translation. I will say it as a translation. So by this diagram you will see my source program is accessing through the translator. Yes, basic translator I am using for it. आपण याच्या आधी पण C++ प्रोग्रामला पण केला होता, पण त्याच्यात आपण डायरेक्टली मशीन लँग्वेज प्रोग्राम केलं होतं. लक्षात येते का? इथे बघा एकदा अजून दाखवते. विल बी क्लिअर विथ द आयडिया. इथे बघा C++ प्रोग्रामचं सी ट्रान्सलेटर यूज करून मशीन लँग्वेज प्रोग्राम पण डिफाईन केली. तर सिम्पली इथं पण काय केलंय मी, सॉरी कुठे केलं, हा, तर C++ प्रोग्राम आहे, ट्रान्सलेटर यूज केला, इथं मशीन लँग्वेज प्रोग्राम आपल्याला भेटली. तर मशीन लँग्वेज प्रोग्राम इज नथिंग बट आय एम कन्सिडरिंग इट ॲज माय टार्गेट प्रोग्राम, अँड दिस नथिंग बट आय एम कॉलिंग इट ॲज अ ट्रान्सलेशन प्रोग्राम. Translation. Okay, the program translation, the statement I am going to read here right now. The program translation model bridges the execution gap by translating a source program into a program in the machine or assembly language. Yes, program मी कशात कन्वर्ट करते, मशीन. जर तुम्हाला ही डायग्राम लक्षात राहिली तर तुम्ही स्टेटमेंट डायरेक्टली सांगू शकता, नो प्रॉब्लेम. इन युअर ओन वर्ड्स ऑल्सो इट विल बी गुड. असंच नाही की इथं सायंटिफिकलीच मला पाहिजे. बाय द डायग्राम व्हॉट यू सेज दॅट द सोर्स प्रोग्राम when I'm going to translate that source program, I am receiving the machine language program which is going to be called as a target program, and this is nothing but the work of your program translation activity, or you can say the program translation. Clear? Shall we move further for the next point of the प्रोग्राम एक्झिक्युशन? आपण आता प्रोग्राम ट्रान्सलेशन बघितलं, आता प्रोग्राम इंटरप्रिटेशन काय. तर प्रोग्राम इंटरप्रिटेशन काय सांगतो, हिअर आय हॅव गिवन द कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. ओके, आय थिंक सो आय हॅव लेफ्ट. Yes, you can see there are three characteristics. You know, the program must be translated before it can be executed. This is one more the characteristic that is mandatory. बरोबर आहे. प्रोग्राम जर मी ट्रान्सलेट करायच्या आधी जर एक्झिक्यूट केला, so it will get show me some error, so I need to go for compilation part. Okay, then the translated program may be saved in a file. The saved program may be executed repeatedly. This was the condition. It is not mandatory, but this is the condition. If you are going to do, it's okay, no, then fine, but this is the main characteristic, that file should be saved. And a program must be retranslated following modification. What following modification? That first one, I need to have a proper program source code as per the diagram. I need to have a proper source code program which should be equivalently measured with the domain, and it is providing a bridge between your execution gap and your PL domain. Yes, and that translator, whatever I'm going to use for translating my source program into the machine language program, should specify that conversion in your machine or assembly language. That should be get converted into machine or assembly language of our computer system, and it will ask by the program is called as the target program. Okay, these three mandatory rules, it is mandatory. You can say the characteristic that before the execution program should get translated. Yes, again the program should be retranslated following modification. Again, the translated program may be saved in a file. Yes, that is fine. Vedangi, what happened? Then program interpretation, the second point of the program execution, second point of your program execution, that is interpretation. If I am saying the interpretation, then it's having some source code, and again simply like instruction fetch cycle आपण जे करतो, instruction fetch करतो, decode करतो, and then execute. We used to fetch the content, then we have to decode, and then we have to execute that particular instruction. So that was called as the instruction execution cycle, which was a 3-phase cycle. Yes, 3-phase cycle. So what interpretation always do, it will show some interpretation taking the source program statement, which determine its meaning and performs the action which implement it. You can see here I have written an interpretation statement that it is an interpreter which take my source program, and which will define, or it will have its own meaning, and it will perform its own action which I am going to implement. So interpreter's function is nothing but I am just interpreting some function. Basic execution like machine language program is going to be done by the CPU. How the CPU converts the formats, because whatever the inputs I am going to give to the machine, it is going to be converted. Because I know the basic language. Yes, I know Hindi, I know Marathi, I know English. But system knows my computer knows only its own language, that is machine language, which is 0101. So my interpreter is having one duty that I am going to interpret that content. Whatever language I know, it is get interpreted by the system to the CPU by its own language. आपण म्हणतो ना की सपोज एक हिंदी आणि एक तेलुगू पर्सन जर कम्युनिकेट करत असतील तर ते काय करतात, कसं कम्युनिकेट करतात, तर थर्ड पार्टी कडून. द थर्ड पार्टी इज नथिंग बट आय एम डुईंग इंटरप्रिटेशन. दॅट इज नथिंग बट तो संवाद सांगणारा, म्हणजे त्याला त्याला हिंदी समजत नाही आणि त्याला तेलुगू समजत नाही हिंदीवाल्याला. तर मग तो काय करणार, एक कुठला तरी मध्ये ज्याला दोन्ही लँग्वेज येतात तो त्याला कन्व्हर्जन करून देणारा एक माणूस अपॉइंट करतात आणि मग ते त्यांचं कन्व्हर्जन एक्सप्लेन करतात. So like that, interpreters having the same function like that as the CPU used to do. Clear? But rather than that, I'm having one again a particular diagram for it, for interpretation, how that interpretation work. So further you can see here, interpreter is nothing but I am considering the PC. Okay, then I am going to fetch the statement. Then I am going to analyze the statement and determine, and I'm going to determine over here, that is computation to be performed and its operand should be given. So I am accessing the memory, that is source program plus data, whatever it may be having, they are going to be interpreted over my PC. And later on, after the interpretation, after this one program will get satisfied, I'm going for execution. This is my interpretation overall program. फक्त इंटरप्रिटेशन केलं आणि एक्झिक्युशन होत आहे असं नाही. आपल्याला पहिले इंटरप्रिटेट करावं लागतं, and then I'm going to go for the execution. I'm going for the execution. तर इथे प्रोसेस मध्ये काय की आपण जे पहिले म्हणलं की इन्स्ट्रक्शन एक्झिक्युशन सायकल जी असते आपली, ती कशी असते की पहिले डिकोड, वॉट एव्हर द कंटेंट यू आर हॅव्हिंग, यू हॅव टू फेच इट. पहिले फेच करा, त्याच्यानंतर त्याच्यात डिकोड करा, and then you have to run that program, then you have to execute that program. But at the end of this cycle, the instruction address account for the PC, that is nothing but, this is not your personal computer, this is your program counter. Yes, it is updated and the cycle is repeated for the next instruction. This is your program counter. Don't assemble it as a personal computer. We are going to update this cycle and we are going further move. Then repeated next instructions are again bombarding on your program counter. Program counter चं काम काय, एकनी counter पुढे ढकलायचा, एकनी counter पुढे ढकलायचा. So each time program interpretation can proceed in a continuous manner, or you can say a consecutive manner, and thus the PC can indicate which statement of the source program is going to be interpreted next. And after that interpretation get completed, I can say that my interpretation cycle is overcome, and then my program counter is pointing towards 0. सपोज 50 लाईनचा कोड असेल किंवा 50 लाईन्सचं तुमचे इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स असतील. सो 1 by 1 काउंटर इज गोइंग टू बी एक्झिक्यूट 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45. एक एक नी कमी करत ते येणार. And after reaches to the 0 value, it will say that my interpretation cycle has been completed. And now my execution will get start over there. How in the what we can say in a C language, the Turbo C application software, whatever it has, the editor, the editor for the C platform, we used to trace with F7 key. So F7, what it does, it interpreted each instruction one by one. Means which instruction get follows by other. तर हे सगळं बघायचं काम F7 कीवर्ड करते. And we are tracing each and every program. After tracing, we finally get an execution. First of all, we need to compile and then we perform the run program, or you can say you are directly executing. Yes. So this is nothing but my interpretation cycle runs in 2 phases. First, I need to go for actual interpretation. Then I am going for execution. After the completion, I am executing the particular meaning of that statement. I am executing the particular meaning of that statement. This is nothing but my interpretation will do. And the basic characteristics of the interpretations are the source program is written in the source form itself. No target program forms exit. Yes, initial phase मध्ये no target program is going to be executed. Here initially I am having only a source program. I can return only the source form itself. And the second one, the statement is analyzed during its interpretation. It is mandatory. You have to keep in mind that the statement is analyzed during its interpretation. स्टेटमेंट कधी अनालाइज होणार आहे तर ज्यावेळेस ती इंटरप्रिटेशनच्या फेज मध्ये असेल त्यावेळेसच ती अनालाइज होणार आहे. इफ आय गो फॉर अ कंपॅरिझन in the translator, whole program is translated into the target, and if modified the source program, whole source program is translated irrespective to the size of modification. You can see here, मी काय सांगते की इथं कंपॅरिझन केलंय ट्रान्सलेटर आणि तुमच्या इंटरप्रेटर मध्ये. तर ट्रान्सलेशन काय करतं की तुमचा पूर्ण प्रोग्राम, होल प्रोग्राम इज ट्रान्सलेटेड and it is modified into your source program. But if the source program is modified, the translation cost must be also modified, but it is not. Size also not get modified. So what my translator will do, it will go as it is. But here in the interpretation, in the interpretation is slower than the execution of machine language program. तो तसं करतच नाही, कारण इंटरप्रिटेशन मध्येच तो त्याचं कव्हर करतं. And lastly, direct execute जरी तुम्ही प्रोग्राम केला तर no problem. But before in the translator, we need to go in a long lengthy process. So this was actually the comparison between your translator and interpreter. What we can say, interpreter or interpretation. So that will be reduce your execution of your machine language. So this is nothing but I am converting the content of your language processing activity in 2 forms. First generation and then execution. Generations having nothing any more model, but the execution we are having the 2 again different models, that were the translation and your interpretation. In the translation, we had seen the translation of the program. Without any hesitation, I am directly taking the code, I am source code and directly performing the program without any translating the content irrespective of my size. But in the interpretation, first of all, I am providing first interpretation over my source code, and I am getting repeatedly asked with the source program without defining the target, and the statement is analyzing over and over, and then I am going to execute that program. So the machine is not getting affected over there in the interpretation. First, next we had the fundamentals of our language processing fundamentals of language processing. So what is actually the fundamentals are? Hence, we had seen the language processing activity. We are using that activities in our current programming. We are using that actual activities in our current programming. So simply एक video आहे, तो next lecture ला मी show करेल. Right now it is not available with me. That was an animated part, how that interpretation and translation will go. Work for it. Okay. So fine. Now we will move further for just make me remind about that particular video. Okay. Now the moving further for the next point of our this chapter. So we can see here. Now this bit we are starting with. This bit we are starting with fundamental of language processing. So basic. If I am taking the idea, if I am going to take, so what is actually the fundamental of language processing is nothing but I am analyzing the system programming plus I am synthesizing the target program. I am synthesizing the target program, which is nothing but I'm here showing you. It is in a very short form what I have defined the fundamentals of language processing. I think so it is wrong with me. Spelling is mistake there. Let it be. The language processing म्हणजे काय की analysis of your system programming plus synthesis of your target programming. Yes, you can say the system program is nothing but your source program, source code or source program, and synthesis of your target program. So when these phases are defined, we perform three rules. Whenever I am stating that my fundamentals of language processing are working, I am going for three phases, or you can say you are going for three rules, and which are very mandatory in our system program. Whenever I am performing anything with my system, I should have the knowledge of these rules. I should be ready with these three rules, which are very important. Yes. So what actually the analysis phase will do, it will analyze the language processing. What is the phase of the analyze? What is this phase? What I am going to do? What analysis I need to do on these languages? So three rules we had defined. First is the lexical rule. What actually the lexical rule is? It governs the formation of valid lexical units in the source language. What is the valid lexical unit? Lexical म्हणजे काय? Suppose if I am going to write something and the output is nothing but I am receiving something very much weird. So what a lexical unit defines it as lexical? Yes, anybody knows with the meaning lexical? Yes. Which includes the letters, numbers, special character, tab, space, written value, symbol, everything. These are lexical units. Are you getting my point? Lexical rules आपण कुणाला apply करणार आहेत? तर lexical units ला. Means काय की इथं जो statement दिलेलं आहे, which governs the formation of valid lexical units. The lexical units is nothing but what rule I have appointed on which content in the source language. Lexical unit वरती मी governing करणार आहे. Governing म्हणजे मी त्यांना standard units consider करणार आहे. मग कुणाला standard units consider करणार आहे की जे units एक तर letters, numbers, special character, again tab, space, written value, symbol table, काय असेल symbols, special characters असतील. So I am going to define that particular content over here in the lexical rule. Then syntax rule. If you are writing a program, आपण तो program तसाच लिहितो. का लिहितो? तसाच का लिहायचा? तुम्ही जर हॅश इन्क्लूड स्टुडिओ और कोनियो डॉट एच तुम्ही त्या ब्रेस मध्ये देता, वाय यू आर गिव्हिंग इन सच दॅट फॉर्मॅट? असंच का लिहायचं? सपोज मी इथे लिहिलं की void main. Okay, so एक मिनिट. So why should we have to write in this format only? आपण void main जेव्हा लिहितो त्यावेळेस आपण ते कन्सिडर का करतो की हे असंच पॅटर्न द्यायला पाहिजे, because we had provided a system with some rules and that is nothing but we are having in system programming. तर सिस्टमचं प्रोग्राम कसं असतं हे या रूल्स वरती डिपेंडेड आहे आणि याचे रूल्स आपण डिफाईन करतो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. तर पहिले इन प्रिव्हियसली बिफोर सी लँग्वेज there were many old languages, Fortran, then DOS, that many more old languages we have, and for that purpose the system has generated its own technology and many things had happened. Okay, Chinmay Halsikar, you have given me message. No ma'am, regarding what? May I know? So I have skipped anything? You can message me or write me or you can directly chat with me. I'm not getting your point. No ma'am, for what reason? Are you present over here? You can reply.
Yes, ma'am. And that was for the word lexical.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. So right now you can you know what is lexical? Lexical
Yes, ma'am.
units.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So syntax rule, similarly, we are providing some syntax rule which will going to govern the valid statements. Okay, here I am going to consider the statement. Similarly, like this, printf in bracket in double quote you are giving some statement and semicolon, isn't it? Suppose I'm not giving you the actual consideration. You can see here I am putting over here. Wait, I will provide something. So like this I am providing in my consideration of a programming. Suppose he printf में दिलेला आहे and that printf is going have that statement. That statement should have a validity, and that is nothing but I am providing in my syntax rule, which is going to govern in my formation of valid statement in the source language. Is it clear? And last one, that is semantic rule. For what semantic rules I am going to give? So semantic rules are associated with the meaning. Means if I am providing integer or int, so it has some meaning. Int is nothing but it is some data type, you know very well. But system, मी system ला काय सांगितलेलं आहे की int is nothing but it is a data type. But whenever I am providing int, then it should take that value, integer value only. हे रूल मी कुणासाठी सांगितलेत? हे सिस्टम साठी सांगितलेत. Are you getting my point? Lexical rule for units, for number, for word, for a special character, for a simple symbol. ह्याच्यासाठी आहेत syntax rule for my statements, what I am going to provide in my language or source code, and semantic rules are nothing but whatever the lexical rule and syntax rules I have already done, on that only I am going to validate that statement is associating with it or not. Suppose me number 5 directly दिला, but त्याला काहीच व्हॅल्यू नाही दिली की तो इंटिजर व्हॅल्यू आहे का सिस्टम व्हॅल्यू आहे किंवा फ्लोट आहे का डबल आहे, तर मग माझ्या सिस्टमला कळणार नाहीये. फॉर दॅट पर्पज आय एम गिव्हिंग दॅट सिमेंटिक रूल ऑल्सो, की पर्टिक्युलर डेटा जर तुम्ही देत असाल then you have to validate it with some meaning. With some meaning, you are providing array. Yes, with the you can say a square bracket. But instead of that, are you providing within without square bracket? No. Why? Because that particular meaning I am already validated in my system. Already validity in my system. So simply Who this? Yes. किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा तो बताइए, हम सभी लैंग्वेज में बात करेंगे। यस, ओके फाइन, चलो नेक्स्ट। नाउ व्हाट एक्चुअली दिस फेज वी आर गोइंग टू परफॉर्म, तर इथे मेमरी लोकेशन मी डिफाइन करणार माझ्या लँग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग मध्ये वन बाय वन। त्याच्यासाठी एक प्रोग्राम असेल, तो प्रोग्राम पण डिफाइन करेल। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल क्लिअर विथ द फेज। तो फेज कशी कन्सिडर करणार आहे, सिंथेसिस फेज असे, कारण लँग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग मध्ये आपण पहिले बघितले की अनालिसिस फेज and synthesis phase are totally governing with a combination. It is a sum, analysis and synthesis, but analysis of your source program and synthesis of your target program. The analysis is the process, first phase which we have completed. Now we need to go for synthesis. We need to go for synthesis of a target program, then the first part we had already covered, that is analysis. How I am going to analyze with these rules: lexical, syntax and semantic. And synthesis, how I am going to concern, that is the construction of your target language statement which have the same meaning as a source statement. तर इथे दोन conditions होतात. First is the memory allocation and second is the generation or code generation, you can see. तर हे दोन्ही parts फक्त create होतात in your data structure. Creation of data structure in the target program is nothing but we called it as a memory allocation, and generation of a target code we called it as a code generation. This is the short form. एवढं मोठं मी लिहित बसणार नाहीये. In short, I am going to call it as a memory allocation. And memory allocation काय असतं, तर creation of your data structure in the target program. And generation of target code is nothing but I am going to generate something code, generating the code. So the source program, how it is going here in this processor for synthesizing. So analyzing phase and synthesis phase, I am getting the target program over here. So this is my process. This is my fundamental of language processing. This is my fundamental of language processing. Combination of analysis and synthesis is providing me with some target, So when I'm saying that, hey, how I am out? I am out. Just wait. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Just wait. Okay, we had here with the part of language processing, how we conclude it as the analysis phase and the synthesis phase. And in this, we are providing with some generations. So in synthesis phase, we are having again two parts, that is memory allocation and code generation. But in analysis, I am following three rules. Okay, consider it as in analysis, I am having three rules: lexical, semantic, and syntax. Yes, and in synthesis, I am having two conditions, that is the creation of data should be made in the target program, that is the creation of your data structure. We called it as memory allocation, and the code generation is done in synthesis phase. Clear? So we called it as some phases are done with some conditions. Suppose if condition like synthesis phase, so memory allocation and code generation जर बघायचं असेल, so I will write some program over here. Wait, I will insert one slide over here so you are visible, clearly visible with that. Let it be right over here. Move R1, comma, suppose 12. Next, move R2, comma, 14. Then I need to get a multiplication over here, mul R1, comma, accumulator ला A म्हणते मी, and lastly move result. So R म्हणते मी, move M with R1 with some profit. Whatever result is there. So you can show with any other register, but I will show with RES. ठीक आहे. आता इथे मी एक एक्झाम्पल दिलंय. It will not execute because registers different आहेत. Instructions तेच असतील, I don't know. Maybe थोडी blank आहे. Multiplication नंतर I think allocation वेगळं करायचं. That will be result ठेवायचा आहे म्हणल्यावर result कुठे ठेवू? Result will be, consider the result will be in your store in your accumulator, that will be of 8-bit. तर इथं काय केलेलं आहे मी, की एक जनरेट केलाय प्रोग्राम. R1 value will consider, register 1 will consider the value of 12, R2 consider the 14. And microprocessor already means assembly language झाली असेल तुम्हाला, and that will show should remain keep this content. हा, suppose जर मला मेमरी मध्ये allocation करायचं असेल, so everything will be in capital. ते move वरचं पण कॅपिटलच पाहिजे, move M. And if I am considering it in, so it both values will be stored in the location somewhere in the memory. So memory location to CPU will be given to the move M, and for memory location to the register to, and from the CPU to register from CPU, then it will be considered or stored in your registered value. So reverse vice versa होऊ शकतं, because जेव्हा मेमरी allocation आपण म्हणतो तर मेमरी allocation कुठे होते, एक तर टू अँड फ्रो होते, एक तर मेमरी कडून कुठेतरी राईट होते किंवा मेमरी वरती राईट होती. And simply in registered I am going to just store the result. That is nothing but I am just only allocating only the result in your register. But here in the memory location I am allocating the memory, allocating the memory in, yes, either to or fro. What is to or fro? That is, I am putting something on memory or I am taking from the memory and writing somewhere. That is nothing but to the memory and writing from the memory. मेमरी कडून घेऊन तुम्ही राईट करू शकता और समथिंग. तर इथे जर मी जेव्हा एक्झाम्पल एक्झिक्यूट करणार 12 plus 14 will be stored here in the accumulator, that is 16. Then 16 accumulator is nothing but the memory has something space over here on for the accumulator. Memory allocation होणार आहे accumulator. So simply the synthesis phase will have these location, will have these memory allocation, and the code generation part, that is nothing but I am accessing, I am generating the target code over my code generation. So it will not allocate on your memory, but it will store the result of your code or whatever the target we had achieved or whatever the result we had seen, it is stored over there. Clear? Fine. Shall we move further?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So the next point in this synthesis phase is nothing but we are having phases and passes. जसं आपण एखाद्या गॅदरिंगला किंवा आपल्याला जायचं असेल आणि तिथे खूप स्ट्रिक्ट रूल्स फॉलो होत असेल तर आपल्याला पास काढावं लागतो किंवा पास पाहिजे. तर आपण एखाद्या लिगल कॉन्सर्ट किंवा कॉन्फरन्सला जाणार असेल तर आपल्याला त्याच्यात तिकडचा एक आयडी पाहिजे असतो. देन सिम्पली हिअर ऑल्सो वी आर हॅव्हिंग सम पासेस ओव्हर अवर फेजेस. तर फेज ज्या आता आपण बघत आहेत त्याचबरोबर त्याच्यासाठी आपल्याला पासेस लागतात. मग पासेस कसे असतील तर पासेस आहेत एक तर फॉरवर्ड रेफरन्स पास, येस, और यू कॅन हॅव द लँग्वेज प्रोसेसर पास. दोन पासेस आहेत आपल्याकडे. बिकॉज इफ आय एम प्रिसिडिंग दिस डिस्कशन मोर अँड मोर, इट इज क्लिअर दॅट लँग्वेज प्रोसेसर कन्सिस्ट ऑफ टू डिस्टिंक्ट फेजेस. फर्स्ट एक फेज आता आपण बघितली अनालिसिस फेज आणि सेकंड आहे ती सिंथेसिस फेज. जर मला सिमेंटिकली इफ आय वॉन्ट टू शो समथिंग, इफ आय वॉन्ट टू गो फॉर some program, I will go for this diagram. I will go for this diagram, which will show me the actual existence of my processing, which can be performed on a statement, which can be performed on a statement by a statement basis, by a statement. Statementच घेणार आहे, त्याच्यावरच analysis होणार आहे आणि त्याच्यावरच synthesis होणार आहे. So I am going to perform the language processing action is going to be performed on the statement and also by the statement. Yes, आपण म्हणतो की नाही आपलं संविधान for the people, to the people and from the people. So similarly like that, system वर जे सिस्टम वरती स्टेटमेंट येणार आहे त्याच्यावरच आपण हे अनालिसिस आणि सिंथेसिस फेज करणार आहे. ओके, सो इक्विव्हॅलेंटली वी आर मूव्हिंग फर्दर फॉर द रेफरन्सेस. वी कॉल्ड इट ॲज अ पासेस अँड फेजेस. द फेजेस वी हॅड कन्क्लुडेड. देन व्हॉट इज पास? तर पास कसा असतो म्हणजे आपण पुढे कसं जातो? Then it is called as a forward reference. The forward reference systematically I have just defined here with what we call in a scientific language. What is forward references? That is nothing but a program entity is a reference to the entity which precedes its definition in the program. So what I have written here, for reducing your execution gap, for reducing the execution gap, the language processor can perform on a statement by the statement basis. So whenever I am proceeding forward with an example, if I am proceeding forward with an example, I am having some statement which will considered as will not allow all the relevant information to be get accessed. All the relevant information can be accessed. So this will create some difficulty for my synthesis. This will create some difficulty for my synthesis. And for that purpose, I called the forward reference. For that purpose, I called forward reference. As per, if I goes to read this statement, you will know that for what purpose I have provided forward reference. For reducing the execution gap, the language processor can perform on a statement by statement basis. Then the analysis of the stored synthesis of equivalent target statement, but this may not feasible due to forward reference. This may not be feasible due to forward reference because it will provide only to the entity which precedes to its definition in the program. So what will be the example? If I am saying, suppose forward reference काय आहे बघा, सांगते एक मिनिट. With an example again, I will remove this. I will create one program, profit equals to bracket मध्ये लिहिते मी profit into 100 by cost price. बरोबर आहे. कॉस्ट प्राइस आपल्याला प्रॉफिट कधी भेटतो जेव्हा कॉस्ट प्राइस पेक्षा आपलं सेलिंग जास्त होतं. And suppose that will be my long profit. Okay. तर इथं जो स्टेटमेंट मी दिलेला आहे की बघा की काय long profit declares the profit. This will declare the profit. It should have a double precision value. म्हणजे लॉंग प्रॉफिट काय की जी काय मला प्रॉफिट भेटलेला आहे म्हणजे ऍक्च्युअल सेल्स प्राइस पेक्षा मला जास्त प्रॉफिट, मी कॉस्ट प्राइस पेक्षा जास्त सेल प्राइस गेली, मग मला तिथे प्रॉफिट झालंय. सो दॅट व्हॅल्यू विल बी असाइन when I'm going to define this long profit, because sales price I don't know, sell price I don't know, but it is saying me, my system already said that this profit is been stated when you are going to state your long profit, when you are going to state your long profit. So it is nothing but it is a passing its values again and again without any conclusion. Without any conclusion means I am giving the references, but it does not have any background. Sorry, it does not have the background and it is moving further. This is nothing but forward reference only given. But what about back? मागचं काहीच माहित नाही, फक्त पुढचं प्रॉफिट आलंय ठीक आहे, पण मागे कितीला घेतलं होतं हे तुमचं लॉंग टर्म प्रॉफिट तुम्हाला माहिती आहे का किती असणार आहे. सो सिमिलरली दॅट फॉरवर्ड रेफरन्स in your assembling solution, or you can say in a system programming is having some basic role that can be used as an operand, but such as you can say again one problem with what we can say, just wait a minute, I am just remembering the one example. For forward reference, one example is there for macro. Suppose you are having an assembler is having one statement with an L. एक L component आहे आणि त्याचा assemblerला address माहिती आहे. But before, if assembler is not appointing me or not configuring me about the answer, I am not able to see the value. I am not able to see the L statement memory allocation. So statement L what will do? It will perform the program from anywhere. It will perform the program anywhere, but I can't allocate its reference. I can't allocate its reference. Similarly, suppose you had put one admission over here. Yes, आता हे referral portal आपण जे बघतोय. So similarly, when we are using that referral portal, then you are assembling or giving something on that portal. Yes, and on that portal, how we are judging that particular student is referred by you, because you are giving your specification over there. But the forward reference is saying that if I don't know the statement or the address of the current executed program, then I will go further without having any reference of the back. So this is my consequence for my forward reference, that I'm providing the statement immediately followed by the synthesis, but it is not feasible because my forward reference says that I'm reducing my execution gap. which is provided by the statement to the statement, which is provided by the statement to the statement. So my forward reference will have some probability with your entity, and that reference will have that entity to which should be preceded in the definition. And when I am going to pass this, that model I am going to define as my language processor pass. Language processor pass. And for that purpose, I moved further for next reference, or you can say next pass, that is language processor pass. Then language processor pass is the processing of every statement in the source program. Each and every statement is going to be seen in your source program, or its equivalent representation to perform. What to perform? Perform the language processing function. We have to perform the language processing function, and that's why a language processor pass is processing on each and every statement. Again, the intermediate representation over here in the language processor pass is nothing but I am processing or I am performing something. So pass is nothing but I am doing something with a legal authentication. I am using that pass for my legal authentication, which is nothing but the system programming will perform with one pass over the other, and that pass is nothing but I am moving further from source program to target program. एकच consider करा ज्यावेळेस मी pass म्हणते, pass is nothing but I am fetching something from the source program and I am giving it to the target program. I am giving it to the target program. So this is nothing but आपण त्यावेळेस काय म्हणतो याला माहिती का, या पासला one pass, two pass, or एक pass assembler or two pass assembler, one pass assembler or two pass assembler. In the next section, we are going to move further more in detail, but just keep in mind, this is only the theoretical concepts. These are right now whatever we are learning is just theoretical concepts which you should know while accessing your experiment. Clear? Now the next point, that is intermediate representation. So this is nothing but what is intermediate representation. So directly I will move further with a diagram. Diagrammatically it will be very much clear rather than getting theoretical. So diagrammatically you can see here, this is front end and back end I have given, and these both conditions are nothing but sorry, tilt here over here. And this one is somewhat, there is an arrow over here, okay, don't miss that. You can see the arrows are there, how they are working. And intermediate representations is nothing but it is representation of a source program which reflect the effect of some but not all analysis and synthetic task. आपण हे जे फ्रंट एंड म्हणताय ना, ते तुमचा analysis task पण आहे. You can call it as analysis, isn't it? Because it is also similar to your language processing activity. It is similar to your language processing activity, and also the synthesis, what we call it as synthesis, is nothing but your backend program. Okay, so backend program is nothing but I am having that particular content. Just wait. Just keep in mind, I think so it is not working, there is something hanging problem. The front end is nothing but your analysis phase, back end is nothing but your synthesis phase. In intermediate representation, we had mentioned here it as a front end and back end. It is nothing but we are having this analysis of your source program and synthesis of your target program. This is synthesis phase, this is analysis phase. Only the names have been changed in your intermediate representation. So what it actually shows you, that is nothing but the representation of the source program, which reflect the effect of some, but not all the analysis and synthesis task, but not the all the analysis and synthesis of the task during your processing, during your language processing. We are not going able to see or able to analyze and synthesis over there. This is nothing but your intermediate representation. So here I have just represented with the definition that an intermediate representation is a representation of a source program which reflects the effect of some but not all analysis and synthesis tasks performed during language processing. We are not able to see in intermediate representation, we are not able to see the task performed by these front end and back end. कारण फ्रंट एंड मध्ये जे काम करतात ते तुम्हाला थोडंच दिसतं, पण बॅक एंड मध्ये बरंच काही चालू असतं, पण ते आपल्याला विजिबल नाही. दॅट इज ओनली द पॉइंट ऑफ युअर इंटरमिडिएट रिप्रेझेंटेशन. ओके, फाईन. Front end and back end is nothing but analysis of the source program. Back end is nothing but synthesis of your target program. फक्त इथं नाव चेंज केलेली आहेत because as per intermediate we should have the front end and back end. So what is front end? In front end we are having some values and that values are nothing but कोण सांगेल का फ्रंट एंड मध्ये काय असेल? आता मी आता सांगितलं अनालिसिस फेज मध्ये काय होतं. अनालिसिस फेज मध्ये आपण काय काय बघितलं? Anybody can reply. I'm not asking with the answers mainly from. Anybody can reply. Analysis phase मध्ये आपण काय बघितलं? मेन रूल कोणते होते अनालिसिस फेज मध्ये? मेन रूल काय होते अनालिसिस फेज मध्ये? काहीतरी रूल्स पाहिले होते ना अनालिसिस फेज मध्ये? रिप्लाय आय एम वेटिंग. Yes, lexical, semantical and syntax rule. मग तेच आपण फ्रंट एंड ला बघतो. फ्रंट एंड इज नथिंग बट यू आर प्रोव्हाइडिंग द lexical, syntax and semantic analysis of the source program, while in the back end, in a back end you provide, yes, you provide the actual target program. The actual target program. Again I am repeating. Here we already had done. Just wait. Here already we had done with this lexical rule, syntax rule and semantic rule. And in the synthesis we used the memory location and code generation. That we had done with your front end and back end. Back end. Is it clear? Shall we move further? And lastly, the semantic action, what we had provided over the language processing. Semantic action, what we provided on your language processing, nothing but we used to clearly take the all actions are performed by the front end except lexical and syntax analysis. They are called semantic actions. Except lexical and syntax analysis, whatever the action we are taking on the front end, is called semantic action. So what semantic action will do? It will check the semantic validity. It will determine the meaning and it will consider constructing your IR, that is intermediate representation. IR is nothing but intermediate representation. Is it clear? The semantic action we are providing for language processing activity, for analysis as well as for synthesis part, but here the semantic action is providing or it will be performed on the front end. We have accept which points, two rules we are going to neglect from the analysis. Lexical and syntax is not done And that's why the front end will action have the name as a semantic action. And what will it do? What will it do? What actions it will do? It will check the semantic validity, it will determine the meaning of source program, and it will construct the intermediate representation. So how that intermediate representation will work, we'll see in the next session with an example of toy compiler. With an example of toy compiler, which will have the front end as well as we are having the output of that front end. Then we will go for the scanning. Whatever the statement we had provided over here, we were having such a scanning, parsing, and semantic analysis. तर याचे आपण content बघणार आहेत, but in the next session. Right now you will have a feedback session, so don't leave the session. I'm just stopping the recording, and you will have to be present over here. HOD is going to be joined here soon. Thank you. Okay, right now, anybody is having doubt? So I can repeat then again. If anybody is having doubt, you can ask whether we will stop here. So reply me fast. Reply me if you are having any doubt. You can ask me right now. Otherwise, we will stop. Students, I am waiting for you. Okay, no doubt. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. We will continue in the next session, that is on Monday. And simply right now you will have a feedback session over here. So don't leave the session. Don't leave the session, CR. Please make one correction in my statement again. Please check whether all the students are present or not, because feedback is mandatory for all. For this right now, later we will take for the 10 students differently we are going to call. So please check CR whether the students are present or not, because
Yes, ma'am.
from your side.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. I will stop the recording so that sir will get in touch with you. Again, the division B ma'am and maybe staff. If you are having any problem, you can state there. Fine. I will stop my sharing.